Welcome in. The PFF NFL Daily is back. We'll be here every day, Monday through Friday, all throughout the NFL season and beyond. Thanks to everybody who was already subscribed, and thanks to all of our new subscribers throughout the offseason. Today, discussing Davante Adams and the Green Bay Packers. Is it all falling apart in Green Bay? And where could Davante Adams actually land? Sam, let's get into it. Green Bay Packers, we've got Aaron Rodgers, we've got Davante Adams. They're tweeting late 90s Bulls stuff, and people are saying it's the last dance. Let's think of this from the Davante Adams lens. Is he basically just saying, look, if Aaron's not here, I'm out. I don't want to live the Jordan Love experience?
Yeah, I mean, you're a Green Bay Packers fan. You thought things were already going south because your quarterback wanted out. Now your best wide receiver wants out as well. Not just your best wide receiver, the best wide receiver in the NFL last season, and arguably in the NFL, period, wants gone. So, yeah, this is about as bad as it could possibly get for Green Bay. It's tough, though, because when you look throughout the NFL, we've obviously reached this period now where team building has happened largely, right? The draft has been, free agency has been, teams that had resources to throw at big highlight reel, major name acquisitions. They've already shot. They've shot their shot. They've got their guy or not. And there aren't that many sides where you look at it and you say, this is a team that has a first round pick and some change to throw at Green Bay for Davante Adams, knowing that you're going to need to make him the best paid wide receiver in the NFL, which is not, like a normal jump, because the Nuke Hopkins contract in Arizona has kind of skewed that marketplace. That's reportedly what has caused the divide in the first place. Davante Adams wants to be that best paid receiver, and the Packers don't want any part of that skewed marketplace. So it's not that easy to find obvious suitors.
Yeah, so remember, that is why we're here, right? I mean, when you look at agents and players and the whole deal, some agents actually focus on, real money or guaranteed money or whatever it is. Some players and agents focus on, I want to be the best at the position. I want to be the highest paid. And clearly, the reports are that that's where Davante Adams stands. And the fact that, Nuke Hopkins is about $5 million more per year than the next closest receiver absolutely throws a wrench into this entire thing. So that's what I'm wondering, too, from Davante Adams' standpoint. Is this in addition to Aaron Rodgers moving on, or is it strictly about the money? There's a lot of rumors that Rodgers is going to be gone. And if you're Davante Adams, it's like, all right, either pay up or I'm out, because I'm not, I don't want to figure out what Jordan Love has. Let me find another place. But to your point, it's not like there's a ton of teams that just have either a ton of money or maybe are that excited about, paying the top receiver contract in the entire market.
I'm sure it's a bit of both, to be honest. Like, I'm sure if Aaron Rodgers was still there and everything was hunky-dory and the MVP was going to be returning, the Packers would have some more leverage to say to Davante Adams, hey, look, the Nuke Hopkins contract is a little bit skewy. It's messed with the marketplace. We're not going that far. If you want to continue to gain, a league-high level of yards per route run, be the most efficient receiver in the NFL, you need to help us out here. You need to meet us halfway, and we'll do a deal. If Rodgers is gone, now the Packers are trying to sell Davante Adams on A, not getting paid what he wants to be paid, and B, not having the quarterback who's likely to meet him, where he can get to, not having a guy capable of giving him the kind of production that he deserves as he's turning 29, reaching the last few years he has at this level. So I think from the Packers' point of view, like, if Rodgers is going as well, and it looks like that's happening, and nobody's going to know that better than Davante Adams, they just don't have any leverage with Adams.
All right, let's get into where he might land, because like I said, it's not easy to figure it out. Now, look, I keep looking at the Colts. I've been looking at the Colts this entire offseason, but they did just give up a conditional first for Carson Wentz. So if the Colts were to get into the Davante Adams sweepstakes, they'd be looking at, a 2023 first-round pick, and they just, Chris Ballard's done a really good job of building, that overall roster and not really mortgaging much of the future. That would be tough for the Colts to swing. I also don't think the Colts look at their roster and think, hey, we have a massive issue at receiver, the same way I might look at it and say, yeah, T.Y. Hilton as your number one. And they have some good complementary guys. But I still think the Colts are one of those teams that needs that true number one, especially when the Tennessee Titans, the team that they're most likely competing with in the AFC South, just went and got Julio Jones, made a similar move. So the Colts, you know, they're an outside looking in type of candidate. But I'm looking at the AFC West, the same place Aaron Rodgers is looking, ironically, he's looking potentially at the Denver Broncos. But I think the Raiders and the Chargers, two teams who could very much be in this, you know, Davante Adams world, especially with old friend Derek Carr, Davante Adams, college quarterback over in Las Vegas.
Yeah, the Raiders makes the most sense in a number of different ways. One, you've got that Derek Carr connection. Two, you've got the fact that John Gruden tends to do unconventional things, shall we say. Three, I think he needs a win. Like, I think John Gruden needs to have a big hit somewhere and create something big like this to have any shot of competing with the likes of the Chiefs. Now you've got the Chargers potentially coming up on the rails, and who knows if Denver are going to be a legit Super Bowl contender if they get Rodgers. And yeah, I mean, I think that Denver or that Raiders connection actually makes a ton of sense. The Chargers make some sense as well, but it would be like, that would be a really, really aggressive move from them. Not saying it wouldn't be smart, not saying it's not possible, but like, that would be a real statement of intent by the Chargers for a team that, you know, already has some pretty good receivers. It's not like they have a massive glaring weakness there, but they would be like putting this out that, hey, we are for real. We are competing with the Chiefs. We're not waiting. Our time is now.
Yeah, the Chargers, the interesting thing there is Mike Williams, you know, his contract is coming up soon. He's their big body downfield threat. But when you look at Keenan Allen and Davante Adams, when you're listing best route runners in the NFL, they're always in the top three, top five, right? They're always up there. Guys with like Stephon Diggs and some of these guys where they have the shiftiness, the craftiness. They just know how to get open. The most important thing. And we always talk about, hey, build that receiving core with different styles. I would throw that out the window if I knew I had Keenan Allen and Davante Adams, right? Play man coverage against us. I dare you. One of these dudes is going to get open. So that would definitely be a fascinating one to see if the Chargers did go that route.
And you would still have different styles. I mean, you would be very top heavy with savvy route runners that can win pretty much everywhere in Keenan Allen and Davante Adams. But you've got Mike Williams as your big body downfield contested guy. Tyron Johnson last season was phenomenal in terms of those big plays he was on the end of like all of those Justin Herbert crazy big time throws deep down the field against zero blitzes and that kind of thing. So between them, that's a hell of a complete receiving core with a diversity of skill sets. It's just that your best two are samey-ish in terms of how they win predominantly, like what their primary calling card is.
All right, so one team I'm going to mention because every time a receiver comes loose, New England Patriots fans are like, wait, I want that guy. Let me concoct a trade for that top receiver. But when we're talking about a receiver who wants to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL, I just never see Bill Belichick and the Patriots going that route. So I would...
Well, particularly when you're not just saying, highest paid, you're talking highest paid knowing that that's matching or exceeding a slight outlier contract. Like, it would be one thing for Belichick to sign up to a deal that made a guy the highest paid position or highest paid player at his position, knowing that it was, a fair market deal. It would be another thing, Belichick like voluntarily signing up to basically match a deal that's messed up the market.
Let me throw one wild card into the mix here, staying in the AFC South. What about the Jacksonville Jaguars? On paper, they have some names that aren't bad. DJ Chark, and they signed Marvin Jones for 2 years, and they just drafted Laviska Shenault in the second round a couple years ago. But DJ Chark wasn't exactly, Urban Meyer wasn't really the biggest DJ Chark fan in some of his comments this offseason. It's not like Chark is this unmovable number one. Marvin Jones is toward the tail end of his career. He's only on that 2-year deal, and we don't really know what Laviska Shenault is. At best, at worst, he's probably a nice little gimmick player. At best, he could develop into that true number one. But you don't know who you have. And if Davante Adams, happened to be there for Trevor Lawrence and his rookie season and his development, Jacksonville's not always the most attractive place unless you've got an Urban Meyer and now a Trevor Lawrence, and maybe the Jaguars could actually be in the mix. And they're an aggressive team with Urban, at the helm there.
I'm in. I want to see that. I'm all for it. Also, in terms of cap space and picks and just the capacity to get this done, the Jets still arguably need a number one receiver as well. Now, they might not be a tremendously attractive destination again, but They've got the resources to make that move.
Yeah,
happen.
Zach Wilson there, continuing to build around them. The Jets are moving in the right direction. So we're back, Sam. It's the PFF NFL Daily. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're here Monday through Friday, hitting all of the top NFL news. And of course, go check us out at the main PFF NFL podcast. It's the PFF NFL Daily.